Yo, what's up guys, you're back with Tech Nick, and today I have finally got my hands on the Oppo Find X2 Pro. This will be another 6-part series going up against the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, which both have Snapdragon 865 processing chips, as well as the new Oppo. I have accidentally smashed my Samsung, so bear with me throughout this video, and for more information on that, check the description down below, as well as the community tab in my actual channel. Now we're going to be moving on to the main focus of today, which is the Find X2 Pro. We're going to be unboxing it here, and I must say I really do love what they have done with the box here, with the shimmery glow of the blue diamonds in the middle. We have the 5G version over here, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage with the X2 Pro. The 256 gig X2 Pro is only available in China. Around the world, you'll only be seeing 512 gigs of storage as the minimum storage config. We have a screen protector in the box, as well as a silicone case, which I'm not the biggest fan of. We also have a SIM ejector tool here, and we have a USB Type-C cord over here, which is actually for USB 3.1 speeds, which is great. We have Oppo's SuperVOOC 2.0 65 watt super fast speed over here. It should shoot this 4260 milliamp hour battery in no time, compared to the 65 watt block paired with the Xiaomi. The biggest difference here is that the Xiaomi is capped at 50 watts, and the Samsung block that you get in the box is unfortunately only 25 watts. You have to splurge for the 45 watt block, which is pretty similarly sized to the one seen in the Oppo's box. We also get earphones, which is really nice to see. You don't get that with the Mi 10, though you do get it with the Samsung. We have Type-C earphones here, which means that we don't have an earphone port on the phone itself. Here it is, guys, the orange vegan leather edition of the Oppo Find X2 Pro. It looks absolutely stunning. Slap that cover on, and no, not so much. It's already a thick phone and makes it even thicker with that. But I must say that the feel of it, the look, the design, it really has won a spot in my heart. I really dig the gold accents around the device itself. It looks absolutely superb. It feels like leather, though it is fake leather, vegan leather, meaning that it is fake leather. It is not made out of animals, though it really doesn't smell like it either. So the main reason for that is that it can work out to be thinner, not using real leather, as well as the purpose of being waterproof, since this is IP68 water and dust resistant, up to 1.5 meters down for 30 minutes in the tank, with the likes of the Samsung being the same. And unfortunately the Xiaomi does not have an IP certificate over there. I like the rounded edges of all three phones at the back, and I must say that the thickest phone over here is the Oppo, with the Samsung coming quite close, the Xiaomi being quite thin compared to the other two devices. The camera bumps are absolutely enormous on all three devices, though I must say the Oppo's raise level is slightly less than the other two, and the Samsung's is just absolutely enormous. I like the fact that we have the volume rockers on the Oppo on the left hand side, and they're actually bigger than the power buttons on the Samsung and on the Xiaomi, so it makes it really easy to find the volume rockers, and I really like that they're split. This is missing on the other two devices. Fortunately we have a dual SIM card slot here, but unfortunately we don't have space for a micro SD. That we only have on the Samsung out of the three devices here. We have downward firing speakers and Type-C ports on all three devices here, and the Xiaomi is the only one with a speaker at the top there, making for a serious dual channel sound, though the other two devices use their top speakers, their microphone speakers, to use that Dolby Atmos sound, which is great. On the Find X2 Pro we have a 32 megapixel selfie snapper with an aperture of f2.4, where the Samsung can do 4K at 60 frames per second with the front facing camera at its 40 megapixel camera, and the Xiaomi has a 20 megapixel selfie snapper there. The X2 Pro comes with a 48 megapixel IMX689 sensor with 4:1 pixel binning, 13 megapixel periscope, as well as a 48 megapixel ultra wide, which is nice to see. We have optical image stabilization, 5 times optical, 10 times hybrid, 60 times digital, and 4K 60 frames per second. We are lacking 8K video here. The other two devices do support 8K video, though the Xiaomi is capped at 30 frames per second and the Samsung is capped at 24 frames per second. The Samsung and Xiaomi both have 108 megapixel sensors, though the Samsung is the only one with 9:1 pixel binning, where the Xiaomi still uses 4:1 pixel binning, similar to what you see on the Oppo. The Oppo does have the smallest camera protruding bump over here, and it also has the smallest form factor of its camera module, with the Samsung being the biggest. So when you do have all three phones on a surface over here, the biggest rocking effect is indeed on that Samsung. We get that wonderful 6.7 inch WQHD plus 120 Hz panel on the Oppo. It looks absolutely stunning, and yes, you can use QHD with 120 frames per second at the same time. Unlike on the Samsung, we have quite a big curvature on the sides of the Oppo's screen over there as opposed to the other two devices. I think that the other two devices look really great, but side by side the Oppo has the slimmest bezels on the side because of the bigger curves on the edges, where the Xiaomi is slightly more subtle and the Samsung is the most subtle. As you can see over there looking at the sides, the Oppo and the Xiaomi are pretty similar, though the Xiaomi is slightly more subtle, and I do think that the Samsung has the smallest bezels at the top and bottom, though the Oppo is pretty similar and the Xiaomi has the biggest loads of bezels over there. Color wise, I think the Oppo is actually the most accurate, and we barely have any curvature on the Samsung, as you can see there. It's up to you guys whether you prefer that. I actually prefer the bigger curves on the Oppo. The color accuracy is absolutely superb. It looks incredible. That 120 Hz is super fluid, and I cannot wait to get testing the other 5 parts in this mini series here. So stay tuned with me on my channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and until next time guys, this is Technic.